So we have counted them in. I have given them the ready to go. So let's see what happens. Johnnylink on the left. Competition stacked so thick this year, it could definitely be the determining factor.
So Johnny already getting the first advantage here with the Rockets about the first drop, but ETGoHam just a little bit behind him with a Razor Shield. We want that pivotal orb to be the first drop here, but unfortunately our two racers aren't getting it right now. Good control by both racers right now. There's some rockets for ETGoHam. Probably take him to the end of the room here. About a 124 maybe for both racers. They're actually pretty dead even here.
Yeah, this is virtually synced up perfectly. That's pretty crazy. ET getting the drops you want to see if you don't get an orb. So props to Johnnylink for still holding it down. And just as I say that, the orb.
Johnnylink also taking a death here. So why don't you tell them what they got to do for Eat My Shrapnel?
All right, as is with any other room in this game, you're going to have a number of the foot soldiers that must be taken down. But unlike every other room, at least in this category, you have 18 shrapnels that need to be destroyed in one way or another, be it by your hand or them just timing out and exploding. The catch is it's kind of like an auto-scroller, so if there's 4 on screen, 1 can't spawn. And ET doing a little bit of a rookie move, holding the door right at the end, and got a little surprise and took his orb, unfortunately.
We call that the Jackamus Wedge. So he's losing his orb, so that's going to give Johnnylink a little bit of a time to catch up. And until he gets an orb, he's not going to gain a whole lot of time to ETGoHam right now. So.
Yeah, one way to avoid that is to simply just count 18 of them blowing up or dying, but I don't even know people who've been playing this game for 5 years that actually do that, so...
I usually make it depend on the power-up spawn, because if the power-up doesn't spawn like on the last one, usually that little delay, it tells you, okay, we're on the last shrapnel, because they won't spawn on the last one.
So they both got spreaders, neither have orbs, so, you know, sometimes it's not what you want, but for us viewers, this is a nice evened up match. We get to see what both these people are made of.
Yeah, without the orb, it just basically becomes precision shooting, because you need to make sure you're maximizing every single shot and not whiffing on anything. But it also kind of plays into power-ups as well, because when you have no orb, a rocket actually has double the capacity that it would have with the orb, because it takes 2 per shot with the orb. So ETGoHam getting those rockets could have taken him to the end of the room, and he's going to get in with a little bit of an advantage over Johnnylink right now.
Yeah, an entry at 320, 326 for Johnnylink, and that brings us to day 2's first helping of Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
Ugh.
All right, heading out about 25 seconds later, as usual, into Tank Trouble. Its name because this room is trouble and full of tanks.
It's also to note that Johnnylink has rockets going into this room, so he'll be able to take out those gunners much quicker than ETGoHam right now. So that might actually put him ahead in the ranking. Oh, and just as we think about that, he has the orb in this room, so that makes his orbless attempt over at this point. So it'll definitely push him ahead of ETGoHam as he takes a death.
As cards would say, the rich get richer. You get rockets, the orb, back into some more rockets. So this is definitely Johnnylink's hand right now.
Yeah, Tank Trouble is a little difficult to have control with if you don't have the orb. It actually has the same spawn rate as one of the later rooms, or basically in Arena 3. So it's very difficult to keep the center in this without the orb. You kind of rely on power-ups and all that stuff. Optimal shooting with the rockets. ETGoHam is doing a really good job with that.
Wow, Johnnylink really cutting it close in that corner and made the smart decision of just dropping the orb when he could rather than taking the death. But ET still sneaking out at a 47.
So Johnnylink not too far behind with the 452. So about a 5-second lead for ETGoHam. It's all going to come down to RNG with the Mutoid Man. Everybody's favorite.
Absolutely. Each drop is roughly 4 seconds in between. So if you miss one or get a bad one, that's 8 seconds of just sitting around.
And look at that.
ETGoHam.
First drop.
First drop spreader in basically the almost perfect position.
Yeah, as a player 1, you want the spreader to be sort of next to the left door, because when you spawn in, you get the invulnerability, and you can use the exploit that way.
He made great use of it too, popping off 2 hands, 2 forms ahead of Johnnylink, picking up rockets. Johnny now with the lobbers. If you don't know, Mutoid Man's composed of a number of hitboxes. If you line those lobbers up anywhere down the middle, you're going to get double damage, and there is a sweet spot right below his chin for triple damage. ET with another spreader, shooting them nipples right now. Another spreader, perfect death. He's going to get it.
Johnny had an opportunity to get his spreader as well, but he didn't take it because I think he was a little late on it. But ETGoHam is definitely wrecking the Mutoid Man currently.
Transfer damage taken the continue, though.
Yeah, he's not going to get the sub 6, obviously, but this Mutoid Man is impressively fast. Definitely one of the fastest we've seen so far in the tourney. He's on the final form, and depending on how much transfer damage is, this spreader could do it here. I don't know. He has
one.
Another spreader, but it's on the final form. Where are all these spreaders on world record paces, man?
For those of you that don't know, the Mutoid Man world record holder, Tullio, basically did have that. Spreader invulnerability, spreader invulnerability, spreader invulnerability, basically just all on the feet. We have ET taking it home.
Let's see, I think that was a less than a 2-minute Mutoid Man, so that's pretty good for a tournament.
ET with a low 641, possibly a high 640, depending on that fade out, but that doesn't necessarily matter. You see Johnnylink here on the final form. I like seeing them put in the effort. Reminder to anybody that's a runner out there, we do have a customized LED lit controller for the fastest Mutoid Man. Doesn't matter if you win the match, lose the match, get kicked out on day 2. You know, it's yours for the taking if you can put it in.
So Johnnylink is going to finish it up there. It's rockets. Maybe about is it going to be 730? It's going to be 730 exactly. Oh, he just beat it by a couple milliseconds.
So GG's to both runners. That was exceptionally close. That can show you basically what RNG does to you. This run is all about Mutoid Man if you can get that 4 to 420 entry time. I mean, if you're tied as a race, it's literally just down to Mutoid Man at that point. ET was maybe 5 seconds ahead, won by roughly 10 seconds.
Yeah, the difference in that fight was Johnnylink didn't get a single spreader, whereas ETGoHam got, well, did he get a spreader? It's like, I think ETGoHam got like 2 of them for spreader exploit damage, and then a ton of other ones just kind of laying on the floor. So yeah, definitely a lot different Mutoid Man for both of these racers.
All right, just telling the racers to not be in any rush, but definitely get ready for the next one. Definitely one thing I have to do is take my time in between some races sometimes, because I like to basically squeeze the controller and break it in half while I'm playing.
Yeah, right you are with that one. It's kind of nice in between races to kind of take your hand off the controller, because when you're grinding for speed runs, the only time you get to do that is when you're just, waiting for the manipulation to happen for the razor shield. So sometimes you do get some hand cramps and all that stuff when you're just waiting in between.
Sometimes you get that good 10, 15 seconds of downtime in the secret room if you're not collecting the presents.
Yeah, that too, but that's only like 20 seconds. All right, we got a ready in the channel for both racers, so 40 Watt's going to go ahead and count them in, and we will get started momentarily. Game number 2, match number 1 of the day. Got ETGoHam ahead by 1, and Johnnylink 0.
Yo, chat, who do you got right here? Who's taking just this simple race, not the entire setup? Just who's getting this match? Is Johnnylink taking one, or is ET back for number 2? ET and both of these guys are kind of a mystery nowadays, because ET doesn't really stream live as much as he used to. And Johnnylink I'm personally not familiar with, and I had no idea where ET stood a year later on this game. And, a week after he applies, he's like, hey guys, got a PB, 540 or something like that.
How mysterious, for sure. Yeah, I don't know much about Johnnylink either. It's like, last time I saw ETGoHam was when we ran our little special on GT Speedruns. But Johnnylink, I think the last time I saw him play was last year's competition when I had him against Tapatio J when I commentated for it.
So while this looks exactly like they're tied, Johnnylink is actually almost a second ahead, just a little off sync on the streams.
But that could easily change. He has a rocket that he's seen in the left corner. I don't think he saw it because it was kind of hidden between all the presents and stuff that were just there, but he missed a rocket drop. That's a very big misplay on that part. But ETGoHam now has an orb and he has rockets, so he's definitely riding the power-up train right now.
Yeah, that is a very crucial orb to be missing, with ET at a 116 blazing hot out of that room.
LZ Cards fan would call that Dynamo.
Oh, again, walking in front of the doors of Eat My Shrapnel. A big no-no. Just stay in the center, people.
I just had to say Dynamite. He gets taken off on the shrapnel, or the swirl door. Like, yeah, that's definitely something you don't want to happen in Eat My Shrapnel, because as 40Y had just said, this is kind of an auto scroller room. You can't really gain any time. You definitely lose it, especially if the power-ups are not in your favor here. So without that orb, yeah, ETGoHam definitely took a very, very big misstep.
The one benefit to it being an auto-scroller, though, is that if RNG were to be on your side, you can actually take a death and not lose time in that room, just depending completely on the situation. So we have ET up with a spreader, while Johnnylink is now exiting Eat My Shrapnel with an orb, so he has a chance to catch up here.
Yeah, without that orb, ETGoHam is going to be losing his lead significantly. So as I say, there it is. It's just the commentator's blessing, I guess, and also favoring the favorites. So they don't want him to get too far behind Johnnylink here, but both have Razor Shields, both have center control. Just ride the power-ups for this entire room, and it should take you about 50 seconds to about a minute. So it's pretty good stuff for them.
This room for me, and I even heard some runners while practicing recently say it, like, this is the room that trips me up the most personally, other than, like, instead of Tank Trouble. It's this weird, like, medium flow rate where all the enemies are just constantly coming out, but they're not just bum rushing you. And it's something weird about that trips me up. It's like the only room in the entire game that is at that speed.
So was that about a 305 entry for ETGoHam, about a 313 for Johnnylink going into the bonus room? That is good for another Taco Bell product placement. Taco Bell.
All right, Tank Trouble. Oh, the blessing of rockets makes this room so much easier as your first go through.
Yeah, the only thing better than a rocket on the first drop is having rockets just going into the room.
Yes.
Johnnylink, unfortunately, not as lucky, as he gets a foot on the drop.
More rockets on the feet, and then more rockets. Oh, but he didn't play it. Didn't take his time. You know, patience is the name of the game.
Johnnylink also getting the same thing. He had some unique dancing to get those rockets, but it doesn't matter if ETGoHam doesn't have an orb if he keeps getting these rockets, because with efficient fire, it'll take him to the room. And not only that, he has a spreader going into a 407 entry time to Mutoid Man. This is crazy.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, when Mutoid Man is coming out initially, he doesn't vibrate, so it's like a free manual if you want to pull it. As you'll see,
Oh no! Just as he was saying it, and then he gets shot down by the turret. So, yeah, he could have definitely made a lot of damage with that spreader, because he had a full clip and he could have rode it all the way down to the center. And just like that, he gets a spreader almost on his feet. He luckily did not grab it, but maybe he got blocked. Maybe he can get it.
Oh, man.
Blocked again. Oh, no. Basically, that closed the gap between these two racers, because Johnnylink is now into Mutoid Man, and I don't think ETGoHam has put any damage on the Mutoid Man. So this is dead even right now.
Yeah, for such a lead, almost a minute lead, and now they're basically just tied. That's how this game is sometimes, though.
So who's going to have the better power-ups? That's what's going to determine this race right now. But right now, it just seems like ETGoHam has had the favor, just hasn't been able to utilize it. But they're both riding the lobber train at the moment. I mean, ETGoHam's got a one-form lead.
As you say that, it's now popping off Johnnylink, though, but also now a second arm popping off of ET's side as he picks up more rockets, the one drop you don't want in this room.
And Johnnylink gets a dead drop there with the foot, but he gets a rocket right after that. But there's a lobber for ETGoHam. Definitely be the better weapon of choice for that one. So Johnnlynk's going to keep doing damage, but ETGoHam's going to keep hitting the double damage, and he gets shot or he gets run overs. Now he has no power-up. Now he gets grenades.
These drops, though, have been pretty even. They've been pretty back and forth with evening out what they have the ability to do. Johnny did get 2 invulnerabilities back-to-back. I see that ET is now one form ahead with the chest exposed. Right as I say that, the chest is now popping off for Johnnylink, and as I say that, the head's popping off for ET. So essentially an exact one-form lead.
Yeah, Johnny, I think, was using the lobbers a little bit better than ETGoHam. He was kind of going... ETGoHam was going from the front of Mutoid, whereas Johnny was from behind, hitting that sweet spot a little bit more. So It's maybe about half form lead for ETGoHam right now, just depending on the power-ups.
Oh, spreader while he has the invulnerability. This is a little bit of transfer damage for ET. Not much, though. Another empty one for Johnny, but then he picks up lobbers and now grenades.
So 1 form lead, but I believe that this spreader is going to do it for ETGoHam. It's just going to be a little too late for Johnnylink, but he's not going to be too far behind him as as ETGoHam finishes off the Mutoid. He's going to get a sub 7 before this one.
That's insane. He walked in at 406.
Yeah, that's a Mutoid man for you. He had basically the first 40 seconds, maybe first minute of the fight, just had dead drop after dead drop because he couldn't take advantage. He took the death. He got blocked in the spreader. Yeah, that's Mutoid man for you, for sure.
And for those of you that don't know, like a 406, that's basically world record potential if the RNG is just godly for you. But that's definitely like podium time to get where you need to be.
So I think Johnnylink actually left at about a 7:14, not what he says in the chat. So that's not bad. Just, the Mutoid man, I mean, he had a late entry as well. The Mutoid man was actually pretty decent for what he went in for.
Yeah, he got a couple dead drops as well, sometimes some in a row. So again, that's just how you play. 1 or 2 drops, 4 to 8 seconds right there. And another fun thing for those of you that don't know, last year some work went into just studying how some of this stuff works, and Mutoid Man is actually tied to your drop location with his movement, so he is programmed to be that mean. All right, so we're going to wait for these racers to ready up now.
Yeah, we also find out Mutoid Man does not care about anything. Oh wait, we already knew that years before. So now we got a 2-0 and a match point for ETGoHam going to this best of 5. It's a game 3 of match number 1. And 40 Watt again, getting our racers ready in between. We should be going pretty shortly here. I got my money maybe on Johnnylink this time. I feel like he's going to clutch this one out and take us to a game 4. But right now he's on the ropes, and if he were to lose this round here, the loser of this match goes to face Starwin 3437, while the winner is going to go face Mr. Dino in the next round. That we actually do know after this race, unlike some of the other races later.
So started, as we all see, with the invulnerability shield. For those that don't know, the RNG is, as a skeletal structure, tied to anything that you see changing the score. On top of that, your movement, possibly enemy movement. So nothing you really can control. The way we control this one is that the demo's just set in stone, and it's set to do, kind of like a Taz. So if you push start at the right time, you'll always get that drop.
So 41 for ETGoHam and a 42 for Johnnylink. We need to collect power-ups. Still no first drop orb on these ones, but I mean, they have gotten the orb in this room. Just hasn't been very nice to actually give them an orb to start.
Both getting decent drops. Johnnylink just with a slightly better one with the rockets.
Yeah, one thing that Johnnylink's not... Something with the rockets, like, when you're having, like, small swarms of enemies, like, you should be tapping the rocket instead of, like, holding it. If you have some efficient fire, you can actually use a chain of rocket for about half the room and get another rocket to chain the rest of it. The best in the business for that sort of thing is Jackamus Wedge. With that, though, ETGoHam, neither racer has gotten an orb yet. ETGoHam getting out with about a 120, though, with that rocket at the end.
Rocket helping him off, already killing 2 of 18 shrapnel. Another 2 about to pop right there as Johnnylink starts it. Again, neither one of them with an orb. Some people might be saying, hey, why are they ignoring the smart bombs or the nukes? And that's because they're just on this weird cycle where sometimes it works for you, sometimes it costs you 2 seconds. In this room especially, you don't want to do that because it's going to delay those shrapnel spawns even further. So one of them can cost you sometimes 3 to, in the worst case, 5 seconds.
Yeah, I would say that in total carnage, like, it depends. It varies, like you said. In collect power-ups, I would not grab it just because I think you can kill them faster, but it's, again, if you want to force drops, that would be the only reason why I would grab it, if you want to be aggressive with those stats, or the strats and stuff. So ETGoHam getting rockets to start, and then he's getting spreaders to follow that up. Still no orb for any of these racers. The power-ups could definitely make a difference, because you can get a sub 6 without the orb. So if the power-ups are good, we'll see.
Yep, and even though we don't have the orb again like last time, I'm saying at least you get to see an even match. One of my least favorite things is when RNG really stacks against somebody. So, if it's bad RNG, at least it's bad RNG for everyone.
Yeah, just like that. We got 2 Razor Shields on both our racers. Still no orb for any of them, but it doesn't seem like the power-ups are actually favoring anybody. Like we have seen grenades and stuff. Oh, and there we go again. ETGoHam getting an orb as we were talking about the drops.
Followed closely by Rockets as well, and he is out of that room at a 306.
Yeah, Johnnylink also has some rockets, and he's going to have some rockets going into Tank Trouble as well. It's a 310.
Both of them with 3 green on the clip, so this is as even as it could be other than the orb. I mean, in that case, ET will actually run out of them faster.
But we're also forgetting that it's Taco Bell, product placement, Taco Bell.
I'm glad you were able to get that in.
So with those rockets, though, ETGoHam is going to expend them quicker, but Johnnlynk's going to get more precise firing with his. So that's the kind of upside to having a 1 and not having the orb. Rockets.
ET getting the club down, just barely missing it with the rocket, and the guy just swung and hit right at perfect timing.
We want to swing and a miss, but unfortunately that did not happen. But Johnnylink is actually getting a lot of good power-ups for this Tank Trouble. That's not the typical trash you see in this room that LEZ likes to talk about. But he still does not have an orb, and he gets hit by a shrapnel. He still has not seen an orb this entire match. So he's very close to being, oh no, there it is. Even now, but it's like so late in the run. It's just, why is the game even doing this now? It's like the second to last power up, the orb. He's going to have an opportunity to get a ball buster here, but he's not too far behind, about 3 seconds behind ETGoHam going to the Mutoid Man. That ball buster is definitely going to make a difference.
Yeah, ET had a slight advantage. He got the nuke at the end, was able to clear the room just a little faster. Got sabotaged again, walking in with the spreader. What is it with this guy?
Well, he had only 1 green bar on that one, so I didn't think it was that much. But
yeah, that's true.
That ball buster, though, I mean, Johnnlynk's being a little... Oh, he got it. There he goes. And ETGoHam's doing a little manual, and he gets run over, unfortunately.
For those of you wondering what the ball buster is, the orb normally can't hit anything other than a piece of shrapnel, or else it gets taken away. Brysolf one time accidentally discovered, and then years later figured it out. Basically, if you can just get that orb smashed in between a couple hitboxes, it takes off half a form of damage.
So we had a lead change, but now we've all of a sudden gone back to ETGoHam being ahead for the moment here. He just had some better drops and stuff. Johnnylink had a spreader. He was trying to do a little bit of manual, but he got run over as he was doing that. But both riding the lobber train right now with a 1 form lead. It's pretty much dead even on that 1 form thing.
Yeah, they both popped a form at the exact same time.
They're both still riding those lobbers. Like ETGoHam and Johnnylink both getting lobbers back to back.
Oh, again, popping a form right at the same time, basically. ET still just 1 ahead.
Seem to be in sync with these power-ups.
So perfect for ET right here. Perfect. This is a great chance for transfer damage. Dodging that shrapnel at the perfect time, too. Oh, just getting clipped.
So here's an opportunity. Here's an opportunity. There is a chance. If there's a lot of dead drops here, Johnnylink can still close the gap here.
Oh, and just as you say that, ET gets some grenades on the feet, and 2 hits later, Mutoid Man explodes.
Yeah, he was very close to being dead there. But yeah, the drop on the feet, just, yeah, it definitely favored ETGoHam on that fight. That's a GG's for him, a 6:33. It's a very respectable race time here. Johnnylink is going to finish this one off. And yeah, what a matchup.
So I guess that takes it for ET, huh? 3-0. Johnnylink grabbing some orbs, finishing off the final form here. Should be able to do it. Has orbs on deck if he grabs them. Oh, okay, he did not need them. Pops it off at the 7:05. We'll probably finish out around a 7:17.
And with that 7:16, we have a GG's. Yeah, these are some good matchups. They were pretty close. I mean, the seeds, it was a difference of 11. The PBs not so much, but it was definitely a pretty even fight, I would say. Like Johnnylink wasn't too far behind ETGoHam on any of these races. Just the Mutual Man luck was favoring ETGoHam more. So unfortunate for him. He's going to have to go down to the losers bracket now. I'm sorry, it's the second chance bracket. He's going to be facing Starwind 3437, and ETGoHam with his victory is going to move up to face Mr. Dino 02. Our host of Smash TV tournament on GG Speedruns.